So George, we'll talk about other things, but I want to open up by saying that I'm sorry. I feel I just want to break down what happened with the Jake Paul podcast.
Got it.
Okay. I've gotten a lot of DMs saying that if you try to grab me, I'd break your wrists.
So sorry. God, I know that you brought us here for a reason, and I appreciate it. And Lord, I'm so excited that I made a good friend today.
So Bobby Lee and George Janko finally managed to get on their knees and bury their beef. The heat has been getting stronger and stronger on Bobby this year, and we've seen him go into damage control a couple of times, firstly on his own podcasts and then on the Joe Rogan Experience, but now he's managed to go one-on-one with George Janko. As for George, though, he's been capitalizing on his fallout with the internet's biggest grifter, Logan Paul, for the last 18 months, and even though I'm not a massive George Janko fan, I've never really followed him closely or anything, I've never liked him or disliked him, he's just never really been on my radar, but I've started to respect him more and more recently because of the way he's been handling this whole situation with Logan, Mike, and Bobby Lee. Now, I've covered George's fallout with Logan in a lot of detail in previous videos, so I'm not going to rehash the whole beef right now, but if you're late to the party, basically, George had a falling out with Logan Paul when he was a co-host of the Impulsive podcast towards the end of 2022. The power dynamic changed and they started to gang up on George for his religious beliefs and felt that he was too uptight, so Logan started bullying him and putting him down in front of guests, and even on the episodes without any guests. But it all came to a head when Bobby Lee went on Impulsive on November 9th, 2022. I'm going to show you Bobby's explanation to George in just a moment, but basically Bobby caught on to the power dynamic on Impulsive pretty quickly and he realized that George was the bitch. So he used him as a target for his unpredictable, edgy style of humor, which included non-consensual sexual touching and humiliation, which resulted in Janko walking off and eventually leaving the Impulsive podcast altogether to do his own thing. Fast forward to 3 weeks ago and the Impulsive resident junkie and Logan Paul yes man Mike made an appearance on George's podcast, which ended up blowing up because George called out Logan, he brought receipts, and he did not hold back. Mike just sat there like a good little lapdog and tried to play it neutral, but then his daddy Logan thought it would be a good idea to dig his hole even deeper and respond to George's accusations with his own little video with so-called receipts, except he ended up reinforcing how full of shit he is and how incapable he is of taking any accountability for his own actions. Classic Paul family move. But one of the other implications of George's discussion with Logan's side piece was that the accusations against Bobby Lee began to resurface and get louder again. For those of you who don't know, Bobby has a history of harassing female morning show hosts on live TV, cause comedian, and he's also known to flop his wiener out and do all sorts of weird and dirty shit during his live stand-up shows, cause comedian. But his highest profile creepy act was when he kept touching George and tried to force him to touch and smell his wiener on that Impulsive podcast back in 2022. So now, 18 months later, with all of these things coming back into the spotlight, Bobby managed to book a spot on George's podcast to clear the air and gain back control of the situation.
So, I usually do podcasts in my ecosystem, right? So it's like, I know the rhythms and I know what I can and can't say. And generally, everything, is, people are pretty open to, they know who I am, right? But with you guys, I didn't know. So and also it's a huge platform. So I was like super nervous. So, I tend to get bullyish and out of survival. Okay.
And you looked at the weak calf. I get it, dude.
You're not a weak calf.
No, I get it, dude. I get it, dude. I would do the same thing if I saw him. No, you can't eat him.
Okay.
Stop.
So anyway,
Tommy, get
I can get a taste.
Save my dog. Get him out of here.
He'd be so delicious, though.
Dude,
I just took his tongue.
I saw you lick him before he licked you.
Yeah. God, no MSG or anything. I love it. But anyway, number one, I do so many podcasts. I don't even remember what I said or did or didn't do. I remember moments. And also, secondly, when you walked off the set, I literally was confused by it. I didn't know I don't know the drama behind the podcast. I thought the comedy instinct was to say that it was like boring or whatever, and I fell asleep.
Yeah.
And the third thing is that, and I truly don't remember, and it is on brand, but I don't remember ever trying to touch you. But if I did that, I literally don't remember, but if I did that, I'm sorry. I do it for comedy reasons. I don't know anything about your religion or who you are. In fact, I didn't really know I know who you are now. But, with all that being said, I really, truly apologize. I love people. I love podcasting. And I think that you're a voice that people talk about now, and you're here, and I just apologize. It's like
Thank you, bro.
I'm sorry.
All joking aside,
Seriously.
for real, I really appreciate that.
So first up, I want to say that George is handling this whole situation like a pro. Instead of whining about everything and calling everyone out, he's sticking up for himself and demanding respect from everyone around him by reaching out to them and having them on his podcast to hash it out. But let's just try to understand Bobby Lee's excuse for harassing George. He said he can't remember doing it, but if he did and George is still upset about it, then he's sorry. Bro, it's literally on video. Anyone can watch it. Just watch the video. What do you mean you can't remember it? Like, what are we doing here, B? Bobby's apology is basically, I can't remember doing it, but if I did and it upset you, then I'm sorry. Also, you're kind of a big deal now, so I'm extra sorry because you're doing so well. That's one of the biggest non-apology apologies I've ever seen. But luckily for Bobby, Janko knew that he had a tendency to push the boundaries of sexual harassment and non-consensual touching, whatever you want to call it. His real beef is with Logan and Mike, which again goes to what I was saying earlier on about how much the power dynamic had changed, and Bobby's appearance on Impulsive was the final straw.
Bobby,
Yeah.
I knew exactly who you were. And I said this on the episode with Mike, and I'll say it again in front of you. Oh, I do appreciate your apology. If it was me and you and we were just messing around and we were like having a podcast and you kept grabbing me because I know your comedy, I wouldn't be bothered by it. I know who you are, I know your comedy, I've seen your podcast. What bothered me on that episode was my friends weren't being friends.
Didn't back you.
They didn't back me, bro.
Yeah.
They saw that I was actually going through things and they stepped on me when I was down. And it just felt like I wasn't in a place where the people around me wanted me to succeed. I apologize that you kind of got caught in this whole drama that we were all put into. But I just want to let you know, before, after, and during, I'm a fan of you, man. I really am. I like your comedy.
You're gonna make me cry.
No, I really am, bro. I really am.
Yeah. Thank you. And let's just put it behind us.
Yeah.
Let's work together in the next few years. I'm going to get out of the business at one point.
Why?
Especially podcasting. It's a very toxic environment, and I've gotten a lot of DMs saying that if you try to grab me, I'd break your wrists.
So sad.
Like 20 of them. You know what I mean? Bro, try to, which I don't even remember doing, and I was like kind of I didn't even know what the it was for a while until I went, did I? I don't remember, but
I actually, it's so funny.
and I asked my assistant to look it up, and she's like, I didn't see that. You know what I mean? And I was just like, oh.
Here. I was going to go into this whole, like, retaliation, but I do have receipts, and I have the clip as well.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah. Oh, no. I have receipts. I just didn't want to do that. Wasn't my whole, like...
Let's move on from that. If I did, I did. I'm sorry. I
because
do it to make
are
people
questioning
uncomfortable
it.
and make it be funny.
Yeah, people were just making it seem like I was making it up and making these things up, and I wasn't grateful for the situation that I was in. And all I wanted to do, Bobby, was like, and I think me and you could see eye to eye on this. There's comedy that absolutely,
Okay.
yes, and also it's just kind of
You
like
have a pudgy dick or
no,
okay.
it's
It's not long though.
It's long.
There's no way it's long.
I could show you.
I don't want to see it.
I mean, you grabbed it.
I didn't grab it. Let's move on.
So it's pretty clear now that Logan, Mike, and Bobby made George the joke, and it seems like it was an ego thing for George. Not that I'm throwing shade at him for getting frustrated and feeling let down. That's a legit beef right there with his friends. Maybe George wasn't in the right headspace to be podcasting with Logan and Mike at the time. He said he was dealing with some personal issues, but it definitely shows the power dynamic on Impulsive and how Logan likes to put people down and belittle them for views, and Mike has managed to avoid it by being Logan's biggest yes man. So I 100% agree with George and believe that he did the right thing by standing up for himself and speaking up, and then moving on to do his own thing. And just looking at how much his numbers have improved for his podcast just goes to show that he made the right decision. Logan was laughing at George for doing his own thing and saying how no one's going to watch your show, etc. But if you look at the raw data, George is killing it with over 30 million views per month, while Impulsive is doing around 11 million. That's a beautiful little bit of karma right there, and just for reference, Rogan does around 40 million views per month. But as for Bobby Lee, the noise was getting too loud. He's been attracting a lot of attention lately for all the wrong reasons, and it's bringing into question his pattern of creepy behavior that has been going on for years. I think Bobby's harmless for the most part, and I think that's why he's been able to get away with things that for most other people would have potentially faced charges for, so he obviously just wants to move on. And George sensed that after a while and moved on to the topic of Bobby's relationship with Kalila, his co-host on Tiger Belly, and also his ex-girlfriend. There is so much to unpack in this next clip, so take a look and I'll break it down straight after.
I will literally cry. If I see something sad, I'll cry and I'll feel it. Like when I watched that episode of the podcast, I just went right back into.
So here we go. Let's keep going.
I see how you try to divert it, but I'm actually going to bring it right back.
Yeah. I don't talk about it. It's behind us.
Can I ask you a real question?
Here we go.
What is up with you and your ex-girlfriend?
What do you mean?
I love this like relationship that everybody keeps bashing.
They're not bad. I don't see. Here's the thing with George.
Yeah.
Okay, is that I don't read anything online.
Teach me this, bro. You got to teach me your ways.
I'm just told you.
No, I know, but like, how do you get into that? It's way too hard to do that.
It is.
Because right now you told me you read DMs, but then you don't read anything.
But I read DMs only because it's like sometimes, because I'm single, and sometimes girls will go, hey, you want to go out? Oh. So I just look at DMs sometimes.
So when did you grow this skin?
It's not a skin. It's just reality. It has nothing to do with you. They don't know who you are, right? They don't know what you believe. They don't know your values or your ethics or anything. They don't know anything about you. So why would you care what their opinion of you is? It has nothing to do with you. It's not personal.
But you have a podcast that talk about your life. So they know who you are. They love you.
No. I do the podcast, right? It's a form of therapy for me, number one. It's a good way to connect with friends and stuff, right? So they come over and they do it. And it's fun.
So you guys got to watch each other have your big breaks.
Can I go back to the comment thing and then we'll go to this? You know what I mean?
I'm going to get smoked in the comment section now because you said that. But
what?
Please.
No, what I'm
Stop interrupting your guest.
No, I'm saying don't read that.
Oh, okay.
Let's make it an exercise not to read any comments. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do to change it.
But do you really do that, or do you just say you do that just to kind of, because I know guys are like, I don't read comments, and I see them on their phone and they're just reading comments.
There was a time when I did read it, and it would fuck up my day.
It ruined you the way you perform.
Yeah, and I just decided to like not read it because it makes me feel bad. There's no healthy, productive thing that can come from it, and it's a waste of time. I love my fans, and I love people's opinions and stuff like that, but it's like, I'm not going to change who I am or change the way I do podcasts, you know?
I would love to take that.
Please do that. Let's just try it for a week.
I want to try it. I really do. I just feel like I'm selfish by not doing it.
What?
Yeah.
No, why?
Because I'm just, and here it is. This is going to be cheesy, but I really mean this. I feel so grateful being where I'm at that if I don't read the feedback, I feel like I'm not caring what I'm like.
No.
It's kind of like the chef. Like
your fans love you. They know. I don't read comments for the positive stuff. You know what I mean? It's the negative stuff, obviously.
that you search for.
Yeah. And also the positive stuff isn't real as well. It's like, you're the greatest comedian, you know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? you saved my life or whatever it might be. I mean, it may or may not be true, but it's like, is it? I don't know. But you know what I mean?
You don't want it
and
to
I
get
don't
to
want
your
to
head.
base my feeling, the way I feel about myself and how I go about my day based on either a positive or negative comment. It's not real. I find happiness. I'm trying to find happiness. And George, trust me, I slip all the time. I have a therapist, and so I go in there and just so depressed over like something that I read or somebody said or whatever, and it's just like, you know, she tries to get my mind back into what I'm feeling right now. Anyway, don't read it. So what we're talking about my Tiger Belly with Kalila. Okay, so what I want to say is,
Okay, so just before I play the rest of that clip, I want to pick up on something. Bobby's reasons for podcasting are number 1, it's therapeutic, number 2, it helps to connect with friends, and number 3, it's just fun to do. Now, my personal view, and you might disagree with this, is that those aren't very good reasons. And to take it even further, I think those reasons are why Bobby has been having such a hard time, except for maybe the it's fun reason. Now, think about this, right? If you're using your podcast as a substitute for therapy and to connect with your friends, then you're gonna end up revealing some very deep and personal insights into your life and all of your friends as well. That's why Bobby gets so much heat. And the thing I don't understand is that Bobby's clearly a very sensitive guy. He doesn't take criticism well, and he's easily upset by negative feedback. So to use your podcast as a therapy session with friends is just a disaster waiting to happen. I think the reality is that podcasting is so attractive to comedians like Bobby Lee because they're lazy as fuck. I mean, that's the real reason why they do it, right? There's zero preparation involved, it's cheap to run and produce, and all they have to do is show up every week and share their feelings and trauma bond with their friends. Oh, and it's insanely profitable. That's why lazy comedians like Bobby, who have never put out a comedy special because they couldn't be bothered writing new material, love podcasting so much. It's simply easy money for them. The flip side is when you're putting so much of yourself out there, you're gonna get backlash from your viewers because they see right through your lies and hypocrisy. So for me, that's where the whole I don't read comments thing comes from. It's because they want to keep making easy money and they don't want to hear any backlash or negativity, so they can just get on with their lives. The problem is that because Bobby and Kalila use their relationship as the basis for their podcast, they can't now put the genie back in the bottle.
Do you love her?
I do. I love her, and
How'd you guys meet, if you don't mind me asking?
let me just get into this real quick. You know, you're so good at this
Thank you.
that like I'm trying to, you know, there's just so many things coming at me.
I'm just so curious.
I'm gonna tell you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna tell you everything. Number one, like the other day, I was at a show, and Sarah Hyland, my other ex-girlfriend, was there, and when I saw her, I hugged her and we talked, and I miss her and I love her. I was at an airport once, and my ex-girlfriend Christine was there with her new baby and her husband, and it was just good to see them. I hugged her, you know what I mean, and she looked so happy. You know, I don't go into relationships for sex or anything like that. I mean, it's a part of a relationship, but if that ends, like the sexual intimacy part of it, it doesn't end the relationship for me.
I agree with you.
So when I look at Kalila, I see one of my best friends. I love her with all my heart, and that's that. And the things that people say about her on the internet, it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with her, and it's like,
Does it hurt you more to see comments about her or you?
I think it hurts me more about her. There was a time where I would defend her online. I would read something about her and I would go, hey, you don't know what the fuck you're, but then it's like, what's the point? And then other people glom onto it, and then you're on this ridiculous fucking argument with a stranger. It's a waste of energy and time.
After this podcast, I would love to pray that you find the most amazing woman that loves you and has your back, and maybe she could open your eyes.
Pray for me?
I would love to pray for you.
I'm going to say also.
See, for me, that's just arrogance. When their viewers love and support them, they're fans, but when they criticize them, all of a sudden, we're all strangers. It's the Joe Rogan school of podcasting. Say what you want, do what you want, answer to nobody, and don't read the comments. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they should read every comment and reply to everyone and spend hours a day hanging out in the comment section like I do, but they should definitely have their producers read the comments and look for patterns or reoccurring feedback, etc., etc. Because if you go and look at most podcasters and YouTubers that fell off, you can see when it all started by reading the comments. All I'm saying is it's free.
How's your wife's hands doing these days?
Oh, they're fantastic. I love my wife. You know where you stand with her. Okay, the guy walked in the arena. Everybody cheered. She gave him the finger. Nobody got arrested. That's why this country's great. Everybody expressed themselves. Can we all be adults?
So Bill Burr's wife, Nia Renee Hill, caused some controversy a couple of weeks ago at UFC 295 when she flipped off former President Trump as he walked past them. Now, at first, there was a divide where some people thought she was flipping off the cameras and others thought she was actually directing it at Donald Trump himself. But now that Bill Burr has come out and confirmed it actually was for Trump, that debate has now been settled. But what I find so interesting about this whole situation is that for some reason, people thought Bill Burr was a conservative and they were surprised that he wasn't a Trump supporter. Well, his wife at least. I just assumed that it was common knowledge that he identified with the liberal side of politics. He clearly supports gun control and he's pro-choice. Bit of a dead giveaway, huh? But as Jerry Seinfeld would say, not that there's anything wrong with that. Maybe that was in a different context. Anyway, I think the source of this confusion stems from Bill Burr's style of comedy. He's loud, he's aggressive, he's politically incorrect, and he's incredibly cynical and sometimes gets quite dark. And for me personally, he's one of my favourite comedians, as my regular viewers would know by now. There's nothing like sitting back after a long day and listening to Bill Burr roasting fat people, or feminists, or Hollywood actresses, or even better, the audience themselves. Shout out to anyone from Philly. But here's the thing. There's a growing group of people, myself included, that think he's gone soft over the last decade or so. I've even heard some people claim that ever since he got married back in 2013, he's slowly become more woke and compliant year after year. Now, there's no way of knowing that for sure, but there is something that I can state with a high degree of certainty. Bill Burr is definitely softer than he used to be and doesn't go anywhere near as hard as he used to. You can even tell when he's about to dive into a group of people or political issue, he'll always preface the joke now in his setup with something like, "Now I'm not saying yada yada yada," or "if that's what you're into, blah blah blah." He's definitely more cautious these days than he used to be. Now that could just simply be a reflection of the times that we're in now and how they're changing, with the whole cancellation buzzword floating around like a bad smell. But I also think there's more to it than just that. So we'll come back to all of that shortly because there's something else that occurred to me during the whole flipping off Donald Trump controversy. Shane Gillis, who's another one of my favourite comedians, well, he ran into the Donald at UFC 290 back in July of this year, except it went a little bit differently for him.
But yeah, I got the Donald, dude.
So how'd you end up getting him? How'd you strike back on him?
The Secret Service started to, they're like, all right, dude, we'll get you.
Oh, that's
We're
kinda
gonna
cool.
we're
That's
gonna get
cool.
it done. We'll find the exact perfect time.
That's
and
cool.
finally they're like, all right, go. Now's your chance. You got to go. I was like, all right, this is it. I don't want to do it. And Jamie was like, you got to go.
You had to go.
And then finally Rogan turned around and was like, you got to go, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Got a quick pick. Got the fuck out of there.
And he just said he's complimenting you.
Yeah, he just said, you look great. How's everybody?
That's awesome.
He has
He's
no
like,
idea.
oh, my
Yeah.
mom's doing good.
My mom and dad are at home.
My sister.
And so here we have two big-time comedians, one who's only a couple of years into blowing up and another who's enjoyed many, many years at the top of the stand-up comedy food chain, both on the opposite ends of the Donald Trump effect.
I didn't even think about posting that picture.
Why? It
I
was
don't
pri-
know.
it
I
was
think some
private
people were
collection.
mad about it.
Why? Who?
I posted it and I think people were like, what the f-? Dude? Like, there's
No way, dude. It was a
a couple people were like, what the f-? I was like, I thought it was clearly funny.
like
I'm
people.
in a Versace t-shirt with Donald Trump.
And the responses to both scenarios from Shane Gillis and Bill Burr couldn't have been more different. Gillis blew it off and spoke about it casually. It was all just a bit of fun for him. And even though, in my opinion at least, Gillis leans more towards the right than the left, he still clearly didn't read into it that much. He saw the Don, he was in a Versace shirt, he went and got a picture, posted it, and thought it was funny. End of story. But for Bill Burr, it was a little bit more complicated. The response to his wife's unkind gesture was scathing, to say the least.
Did you guys see Bill Burr's wife flick off Trump?
Yeah. I did.
We would get home if that was my wife. We get home, I'd be like, "What the f- are you doing?" Yes, you're gonna flip the camera off.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, are
That's a
you
good point.
Eminem? You're saying it's
I
not
mean,
a woman.
I
thought he
did
was.
for a while. I played it. I played him. In
But
the
I
music
know,
video.
but not now, right? 'Cause
yeah.
if my wife was like, I'm like, all right, well, I
I
can't
don't
bring
know,
you out
man.
anymore.
Sometimes
He's like, oh, this is the guy I don't like. I don't like his politics. I don't like what he's about. Yeah.
But to
mean-
do it behind his back?
Yeah, well, I mean,
well, it's
If you're gonna do it,
it's a woman, though.
if you're gonna do it,
what are you supposed to do?
Behind his back.
I know.
he's walking.
What are you supposed to do? Walk up to him and tap him on the shoulder? Hey, you? I mean,
You can do it
like
as he,
Yeah.
or because he passed her.
You're saying it was a coward's middle finger.
Yeah, it's some
I
either
don't know.
guy,
I don't
girl.
care.
It's weak as.
Now, let me just say up front, I couldn't care less what Bill Burr, his wife, his pets, his neighbours, whoever, I could not care less what they do in their private lives. And I think most of you watching this right now would probably agree. The problem is that what his wife did that night seemed to confirm a long-standing fear that many of his fans have, that Bill Burr has become more and more woke over the last 10 years since he got married. And even though Brendan Schaub is a complete tool, I 100% agree with his assessment there. Are your feelings so strongly anti-Trump that you need to express them in such a way when you know that you're in the spotlight, literally cage side at UFC 295? Especially considering that your husband's comedy profile is based around him being anti-woke. Now we have Bill Burr's wife flipping off the most anti-woke, anti-establishment, anti-Hollywood president in history. And whatever you think of Donald Trump, that's really saying something.
That's like those Trump guys. They're always going like, you snowflakes, F your feelings and all of that. And then you make fun of Trump. They're like, oh my God, it's so disrespectful. It's like you're saying F Joe Biden. It's like you can't have it both ways.
How's your wife's hands doing these days?
Oh, they're fantastic. I love my wife. You know where you stand with her. Okay? The guy walked in the arena. Everybody cheered. She gave him the finger. Nobody got arrested. That's why this country's great. Everybody expressed themselves. Can we all be adults? I mean, I don't know about you, but I came there to go to the fights. I didn't know I was going to the Republican National Convention.
Yeah, he definitely rehearsed that 100%. He was trying so hard to turn it into one big joke and hope that it wouldn't stick. And again, let me emphasize, I really don't care what him or his wife think about Donald Trump. I don't think it was disrespectful. And do you honestly think Donald Trump himself actually cares? The problem was the optics of it all.
All right, so this is Bill Burr talking to Rich Eisen, I believe, about the whole controversy where Bill Burr's wife was flipping off on camera when Donald Trump was walking down.
Yeah, and I love Bill Burr. My thing, if my wife did this, I'd be like, hey, left and right buy tickets. We don't care who buys them. We like both. We're not picking a side. Yeah. That's why I'd be upset. I'm like, you just cut my fan base in half.
Or
so he goes,
or it's his wife. And
I love my wife. You know where you stand with her. I didn't know I was going to a Republican National Convention.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
you're allowed to give. You're allowed to give
That's
your
a good
leader
answer.
the strength of our country. Is you're allowed to give any leader the finger. You're allowed to say F off, and that's what's great.
Try
about
it
this
in
country.
Russia, North Korea, though.
Correct. See
what
what
goes
happens.
for you.
Exactly.
Do it in Ukraine right now.
That's right.
Geez, I'm starting to get sick of Bupper and his legit takes. But credit where credit's due, he's got a point there. Why split your husband's audience in half like that with a silly gesture? But let's get back to this fundamental question here, which is, has Bill Burr lost his flair? Is he still the ruthless comic who absolutely roasted the crowd in Philly back in 2006? For a lot of comedy fans, that was peak Bill Burr. It was during the Traveling Virus Comedy Tour, which was basically the regular comics from the Opie and Anthony show on tour. They were in Philly and the crowd was rowdy, booing off comedians left and right. When it was Bill's turn, instead of backing down, he went on the offensive, roasting everything about Philly for a solid 12 minutes. The crowd started turning, and by the end, he got a standing ovation. It turned him into a cult hero, and now the story is the stuff of legend. Now, if we look at Shane Gillis, who is only 2 comedy specials deep compared to Bill Burr's dozen or so specials, well, he had a similar, but obviously different, incident back in 2019 when he was fired from SNL due to supposedly racist and homoerotic remarks, is that right? Anyway, that he made in years prior, which resurfaced in the wake of his success. Now, we all know the story by now, how it completely backfired and shot him to fame as a comedian who went against the grain, stuck it to the establishment comedy lords, and basically went independent. So you can see how Bill Burr and Shane Gillis share a similar kind of notoriety that so many comedians are now trying to manufacture themselves. I recently covered Matt Rife's vain attempt to be controversial. Andrew Schultz and Tom Segura have both leaned into the whole censorship debacle by releasing specials through Netflix, but then independently releasing the jokes that didn't make the cut because they were too controversial. Man, so stunning and brave, huh? Get that Netflix money and then pretend to cancel yourself at the same time. I can't decide if they're playing chess or checkers. Maybe checkers. Anyway, throw in as well Bill Burr's latest Netflix movie. That's right, Bill Burr's actually a half-decent actor, and he extended his talents in his latest film called Old Dads, which he wrote, produced, directed, and starred in, alongside Bobby Cannavale and Bakeem Woodbine, and take a wild guess what the movie was about. You got it, 3 middle-aged men who find themselves out of step with the modern woke world. I don't know what you guys think about it. I thought it was pretty lame, but it had some funny bits in it. Seems to be the way these days, huh? And so, with all the growing controversy around Bill Burr's flourishing wokeness, his movie couldn't have come at a better time. You know, to convince all of us that he's still the old-school Bill Burr that we learned to love. The problem for him is guys like Shane Gillis, who are so far removed from the comedy establishment compared to him, that he's starting to look more and more like the out-of-step comedian who made the conscious decision to become Hollywood's anti-woke puppet. Oh, man, I know that's a big call, but like I said, next to Shane Gillis and even an older generation comic like Louis C.K., who got shunned by the establishment and said, hey, you know what, screw it, I'll just do it on my own. Well, I tell you what, it begs the question, is there still room for Bill Burr amongst the anti-woke comedy elites like Shane and Louis, or has his longevity and mainstream stardom come at the ultimate price, becoming just a normal comedian? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm really interested to hear what you guys think about all of this, so make sure you drop a comment below. And if you haven't already subscribed, consider jumping on board so you get my uploads in your feed. I hope you guys had a relaxing Thanksgiving break. Shout out to all my regulars. Love you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.
By the way, dude, the elk's been delicious.
Thank you. How do you like it?
I made this American chop suey with it, and my wife gave a fucking bad review before anybody even tasted it, and everybody just said fuck it. Like, she goes, it looks like Hamburger Helper. I've been chowing it for like 4 days. Like, out of respect for that fucking elk that you shot. It's like, I'm eating all this shit. I don't care if it's bad.
Does it make you more aggressive?
What?
Elk.
No, Joe, you lunatic. Somebody gets in my face, that might cause me to get more lunatic. I eat a little bit of protein. You had to beat the fuck out of people for like 3 decades before you could like chill, smoke a little, put on your Little Rascals hat, and just chill out. You don't understand. I love him to death. But this guy is the most testosterone-filled dude I've ever met. That's why I love him. I love him. He's like every guy I met in Boston welded together. He's crazy.
The Little Rascals hat will haunt me for the rest of my life.
No, and this is what killing me. No,
I'll never put this on.
No, Joe, you're crushing that. He's crushing that hat. Come on, you know he is. You're killing it. I love it. I love it.
You don't have to balance it out. I like it. It's hilarious.
Bro, come on,
bro. You can bring it up.
I didn't go on the Flagrant podcast and talk about it.
Jamie's been complaining about it ever since.
I don't. Ari, how do you feel about this? I feel a little betrayed.
Oh man, I couldn't.
I think
care
you just
less.
cursed Notre Dame. I think it's going to be a blowout this weekend.
Yep.
And then next Protect Our Parks, Jamie's going to just trounce you.
I would not do that. I would.
He's gonna
be,
piss-
After next Protect Our Box, that's
He's
good
going to
t-shirt.
piss in your
It's gonna
Bud
be months
Light,
from now.
and you're not even going to notice.
I would
'cause,
never.
You know.
You guys are turning nasty. Obviously, you guys don't know how to handle booze, and you guys are starting to act like rotten. And that's fine.
The risky business.
You guys
He
are
did the
acting
risky business on us.
It's a rare occasion to see Joe Rogan's side piece Young Jamie piping up on the podcast, but last week on Protect Our Parks, Jamie had basically had enough of Shane Gillis's bullshit and decided to set the record straight. The funniest part about this story is just how long Jamie sat back and kept his mouth shut while Shane was going around talking shit about him, how he owes him money from a night out at the casino where Shane spotted Jamie $1,000 while playing blackjack. It all came to a head in the lead up to the Ohio State versus Notre Dame championship game that just finished, where Jamie's team ended up beating Shane's beloved Fighting Irish. So it's going to be interesting to see if Shane sticks to the deal and pays up and puts the t-shirt on. But all of this is mostly banter, except for the part where Jamie actually gets annoyed with Shane's lying and calls him out for it. Because for the most part, Shane and Jamie are actually really good friends and they hang out together, but things started to get a little bit heated when it came down to their football rivalry. Whenever their teams are about to play, they both turn into nasty bitches on Protect Our Parks.
I gotta
All
pee.
the way.
You want to go pee with me, Norman?
No,
We can
no,
call
I'm
it
here.
truce?
I'm
okay,
good.
you win.
I'll go pee with you.
I'm very comfortable.
You win.
Yeah, clip it.
You know what's fun? An acid Joe Rogan.
He was standing there with Jamie, and he was like, "Jamie's the best."
Yeah, he was so
You remember that, Jamie?
heartfelt.
I didn't
Yeah,
hear that.
I know, Jamie. You went home and jacked off to that compliment.
Jamie, how hard did you jack off, dude? Scale of 7 to 10.
Just last night or today?
Just last night about it.
Jamie, ooh, low key funny. Low key.
America.
Oh my god. Now that Joe's out
Don't
here, I'm
be
gonna tell you the
nasty,
truth.
Shane.
I fucking hate you.
I heard you're a virgin. Can't get it
Oh,
up.
Jamie, you got a little tiny penis, dude. Fuck you.
Did
you see that?
Jinping. Keep it going, bully.
Shut up, dude. You're Dr. Gay, dude.
You keep bullying me.
Oh, I don't bully you,
he's
dude.
gonna
You and me are
shoot up
friends.
a-
He tried to bully me. He bullied me earlier in the football season because he knows I like Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Jamie's a bitch.
No, we were just supporting JMO.
Shane's starting to get real nasty. It's a good thing you can't.
Shane was getting nasty.
JMO.
I was not getting nasty.
Shane claims
Joe, don't
nastiness in
listen.
others a lot, but he's quite often nasty.
Do you think YouTube would allow us to show piss on your desk?
Okay, just before we go any further, can we all just agree that Ari Shaffir is the most disgusting JRE guest in history? If you didn't catch it there, Rogan was talking about the bottle of piss that Ari was waving around at the beginning of that clip when Rogan offered Mark Normand a shot at walking him to the bathroom. Like, the guy is an absolute menace. He apparently took a shit on stage at Skankfest and also on Kill Tony, you know, cause edgy comedian. Ari's equivalent to Bert Kreischer taking off his shirt is getting his junk out in front of a live audience, and the amount of times he just couldn't be bothered going to the bathroom like a normal person while in Rogan's studio, so he just starts pissing in bottles or beer cans under the table and gets piss everywhere. I mean, he was basically doing it on every episode until Shane called him out for it on Protect Our Parks 13 and told him to get new material, so on episode 14 he managed to walk himself to the bathroom like a big boy, which seems like progress, I guess. But getting back to Shane Gillis bullying young Jamie, last week in the lead up to the game they were looking for an opportunity to G each other up, and then Papa Rogan jumped in and proposed they make a bet so Shane could win the money back that Jamie supposedly owed him.
He had a cowboy hat.
He,
I know what you're
he
talking
had
about.
a very disgusting style of porn. That it was the idea of like these things keep accelerating,
Yes.
and getting more and more deviant. They tried him in
Jamie's
Florida.
horny ass knew.
Jamie's like, my
That's
pencil computer for
disgusting,
this one.
Jamie.
That was back
Typical
when.
Buckeye.
That was back when. This typical Buckeye.
Typical horny ass
Championship
freak
week.
Buckeye.
It's championship week. You
Yeah.
guys are at each other's throats.
He fucks a Buckeyes.
Jamie's ready. You guys have to bet. You have to win your money back that he stole from you at the blackjack
He
table.
stole from me.
Whoa.
That's what I said.
Oh, look at that.
Jamie borrowed money from Shane and didn't give him a cut.
Didn't give me a cut. Dude.
Oh, really?
What do
You
you
gotta
mean?
give him a cut of the winnings.
Didn't need to. Get one of the
Disgusting.
Navy
Classic
SEAls.
Buckeye.
You gotta give him a gapper. Don't you know what a gapper is, son? Like, so let's say if you and Shane are playing pool and you're gambling and you don't have any money, and you say, "Can you give me $100?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I say,
spend it."
yeah, of course.
I give you $100. You win $300 off of Shane. You throw me $50. You throw me a
Yeah,
gapper.
you give me the money.
You give me a
Also-
little bit. You know, I gave you the $100 so you can get in action. So even though you really technically only owe me $100, if you want this to keep happening in the future, you throw me a gapper.
Yeah.
So you throw him $50.
I do.
I like it.
I do have an
So
important
free
question.
50.
An important question for the podcast.
I think it's crazy that Rogan doesn't actually know the full story about what happened after all this time. Jamie's been keeping his mouth shut for over 3 years now, and you could see there how Shane immediately tried to change the subject by bringing up a question that he had for the podcast, which was about Ohio State's shady business dealings with one of Epstein's former associates, which I'll play for you in just a moment. But after that, Jamie hits back with an allegation of his own about Notre Dame paying over $20 million for their team, and it basically just became tit for tat. And the funniest part is how they both clearly prepared material to sledge each other with. Jamie even had the Ohio State song ready to go whenever Shane started talking shit about the game. But then finally, Jamie brought up the money that Shane still owes him from that night at the casino. And thank God for Mark Normand, because without him, we wouldn't be able to fully understand the magnitude of what was going on in that studio. His custom library of Mark Normand sounds and one-liners always helps to navigate the degree of bullshit swirling around in that room at any one time. So if you get confused, just wait for the noises.
I do have an important question. An important question for the podcast. Jamie, who's the Epstein that paid for Ohio State's roster this year?
This is information I mentioned to you before, so I don't know that that's even true.
What? Wait, Jamie always takes the establishment position.
Do you want to talk about the Catholic Church?
Lexner? Whoa, hold on.
Lex Wexner.
Jamie,
that's his name. Now, Lex Wexner, what did he do, and why does he pay for your entire roster and most of your campus?
He donates a lot of money to Ohio State.
Yeah, what did he do, though, that's like suspect?
He's a big businessman. I don't know what he did specifically.
I have no idea what he did.
I don't know either.
Google
Do you want to
him.
go on Reddit?
Just Google him. See what he did.
Jeffrey Epstein worked for him.
Jeffrey Epstein worked for the guy who paid for your roster?
Oh, boy.
Huh.
Interesting.
Why'd you guys spend so much money on your team?
Notre Dame spent $20.4 million, side revealed by quarterback Riley Leonard in eye-opening take. Wow.
Side review?
Yeah, this means nothing. This is called literal fake news.
Mm-hmm.
What is this from?
X. X is always right.
Yeah. What is this from?
Community notes.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Check the community notes.
Jamie.
Are you going to be sad on Tuesday?
Oh. Am I going to be sad if Notre Dame loses the national title?
Will you be?
You will be.
Or
I don't know.
Like
I'll tell you this. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to take my dad. I'm going to say, I'd love Notre Dame to win one in front of my dad.
I won't rub it in. I'll tell you that much.
You will.
What if you?
You will,
what if
though.
you,
But you will.
What if you have to wear a shirt on your podcast? How about
That's
a shirt
not
on your
bad.
podcast?
I'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Both of you.
Shane, if I was you, I'd just throw that money down.
No, do the T-shirt.
Maybe I'm not afraid to throw the money down.
Wear an LSU shirt.
$1,000 even
You
up.
wear a Notre Dame shirt.
$1,000 no matter. Yeah.
Jamie, $1,000 even up.
Okay.
Okay, we got it. That's it. That's it.
Bro, I hate it.
Incredible
I hate
bet
it.
for Jamie.
I hate it.
Incredible.
I
bet
hate
for
it.
Jamie.
Do the
love it.
shirts. Do something embarrassing if you lose.
I want to see that
know.
in cash.
Pay me with my
$1,000
own
and
money.
shirts.
You still owe me a couple $1,000 after that.
You owe me $5,000 from Vegas.
Really? What
How's
happened
that?
in Vegas?
Yeah, that's when
He didn't
when
get a
had-
gapper.
You get all
he
of
had
the winnings
nothing.
now?
I paid for this man to live.
Yeah, Mark Normand's that guy in every group that always gets you into fights but seems to disappear when shit actually goes down. Then he rocks up at the end and says, "What the fuck happened to you guys? I went to get a drink and you all disappeared." Meanwhile, he was the one who told the other guys that his buddy's been railing one of their girlfriends just because he was bored and wanted to see what would happen. But the thing that's been really bothering Jamie was Shane's appearance on Flagrant back in 2023. This is where Andy and his den of dick riders brought up the night at the casino and asked what really happened with Jamie at the blackjack table. And this isn't the first time that Schultz has conspired to talk shit. Nobody punches down quite like Andrew Schultz does. Remember that time when Tom Segura told him about Bert's phobia of clowns and balloons? So Schultz thought it would be a good idea to hire a clown and fill the studio with balloons when Bert came in for an episode of Flagrant. Yep, that was the first time in my life where I felt a little bit of empathy for our boy Bert. He really didn't deserve that. Oh, fuck it, maybe he did. Anyway, so when Shane was on there in September 2023, Schultz brought up the casino story and asked Shane to explain exactly what happened.
None other than Jamie.
Jamie is such a bitch about this. I knew it was Jamie, dude. He's such a bitch about this.
So
Go ahead.
So bring that up, Jamie. Jamie Vernon, the legend.
We pulled up Jamie.
We pulled up Jamie for some padel. We're in Austin. And Jamie was like, listen, the last Protect Our Parks, I was going to bring the story up with me and Shane.
It gets heated, dude.
Okay.
He gets heated.
Can you set it up the way that you know? Because we only know Jamie's version.
Yeah.
all right, I was shit-faced. It was after a show. We're at a casino.
But weren't you with?
Yeah, with Rogan, Dana White, Busting with the Boys. Trump was just there. Like,
so you guys are charged up.
Yeah, and Dana and Taylor Lewan are betting like
big
hundreds of thousands of dollars, like per hand.
Yeah.
But then we're at the other, like a side table. We're playing a little bit of money. We're playing blackjack. Jamie gets an ace, gets another ace, splits it. Now he's out of money. He needs somebody to help. I go, yeah, I'll play that. I'll just play that card.
I'll play that. It's funny how you worded it.
Yeah, I'll play that one.
Yeah.
And then another one and another one. He got 4 aces in a row.
Get the
So you keep splitting them.
Wow.
And I ended up paying for 3 of the aces. He paid for the first one. And then they all won. And I think we should have split the winnings.
Evenly?
I'd say pretty even, yeah.
Now, here's the question.
Pretty even.
It seems.
I just bullied him into giving me $800 more. I kept with him. I kept like doing that like passive shit where he'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, no, that's fine, that's fine.
You should have got more.
75%.
I did get more. Eventually, I did get more, and he was upset about it because I guess in poker and gambling, if somebody backs your bets, you just pay them back what they gave you.
And then a
Not
fee.
the winnings.
No,
I
you
agree.
get a little bit. You have to give it
I
back.
should have gotten all my winnings, which is what I got.
Yeah, you won that one. But I think his thing
But
was like, I got to pay him back no matter what if I lose. So he has no risk.
But it was the risk, though. No, that was the risk. If those hands lost, I lost those chips.
Oh,
he wasn't going to pay me back. That
Oh,
was a
he
risk.
was-
Yeah, so he paid for the
If you
split.
take the risk, you deserve all the rewards.
I agree.
Yeah.
After
This
he
is the
won, he
most-
was like, I'm going to pay him back no matter what.
This rule,
after he won.
this rule is for degenerate gambling addicts. Where they're like,
Yeah.
well, you pay for me, and then if I win, it's my money, and you get yours
Yeah,
back.
I
No,
thought-
suck my ass, dude. You're the
Yeah.
one that's out of money. You need mine.
Exactly.
I won you money.
Yeah.
I'm on your side.
I couldn't agree more. But Jamie, I did start bullying him a little into giving me more and more and more money.
I believe that.
And I was hammered enough to just take it.
How much was the winning?
No, I don't know. I forget. I
Wait.
swear to God.
Jamie knows exactly. It's
Yeah, I know.
$3,400.
Jamie knows.
$3,400 exactly.
It was 34, and I think we split it even. Or
Seems
maybe
right.
I got a little more than that.
You should get more.
Which one?
I should
You
get
should
more.
get 75%. You pay for 75% of the hands.
Nah, not 75%.
No, we love
it
Jamie.
was Jamie's hand.
I'm taking. I invited him to Ohio State, Notre Dame.
Ooh.
I was going to get him his tickets, but
And
if he wants to be a bitch
he's an
about
Ohio boy.
it, he can pay for half of the tickets.
I think he should.
Of course, Schultz's entitled brat side piece, Akash Singh, thinks that Shane should have gotten 75% of the winnings. But Shane actually did admit that Jamie gave him half the winnings, which is what actually happened. They're obviously good friends, and Shane was clearly just trolling Jamie the whole time by dragging out the story and making him out to be a whiny bitch, when the reality was that Jamie did offer Shane half the money straight after it happened. And like I said earlier, it's crazy how no one actually knew the story, including Rogan, who was there at the time, which makes it so much funnier. Jamie's been sitting there the whole time with his mouth shut while Shane's been on the podcast multiple times over the last 3 years since it happened. So finally, when Rogan kept bringing it up and Shane kept digging in, Jamie decided it was time to set the record straight once and for all.
What happened? He didn't throw him a gapper. We talked about
No,
it.
that would be like I didn't have any money when we went to the casino, but that's not how it started.
Sweet Jamie the Mooch.
I gave him half the winnings. I gave him half the winnings, and he should not have gotten that much money.
thought it was
You gave him half the winnings?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on a second. I thought he just gave you the money back,
No,
you son
that's
of a
why- that's why it's been a thing for 3 years.
No, but he was so
No,
upset
no,
about
you're
it.
wrong.
Oh,
Yeah,
You're wrong.
Yo,
That's what I'm
half
saying.
the winnings. That's how I should have lied.
Jimmy, you
says my-
sat through 4 hours and didn't bring up that information
I
that would
brought
have
it up
silenced
for
him in
a
the very
year and a
beginning.
half. He goes on the Flagrant podcast and starts talking shit.
Sorry, I called you a mooch there,
Everyone
buddy.
thinks it's
yeah.
something different.
Meanwhile, he gave you more
Shut
than a
up,
gapper.
Jamie.
He didn't have to give you half the winnings.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
a quarter of
Because
it
he could have
tops.
lost it all and he would have paid you that
well,
money
it
back.
wasn't just one gapper, was it?
You want to explain what happened now?
Didn't
or
I?
we going to tell lies?
Tell it
No,
up.
go ahead.
Oh, that's
But it wasn't.
Is it
Those are, that's lies.
It was $1,000 hand. $1,000 hand. Two
Okay.
aces come out.
How much did I put up on the
Two
1,000?
aces come out. You
I
got
split
him.
the aces.
How much did I put up on
I
the
paid
1,000?
for that.
You paid for the.
The second time aces came out, I didn't have enough to cover that one. I had 400. I borrowed 600 from Shane. A fourth time, it happened again. And then we won all 4 hands.
Wow. Yeah.
And we're starting to collect the money because everybody else won too. There's chaos at the table.
I said,
Right.
that's
And he starts
mine.
going, how much money do I get? And I gave him a stack of chips and I said, is that good enough?
And
then he turns into Shane. He goes, I don't know. What are you getting?
I didn't say
Wait,
no.
was it 5K though?
I ended up. Well, we only won 8,500, so I think I ended up giving him like 4,200.
Okay.
About that.
I was just making fun of him.
Yeah, and then he was
I
just
don't
talking
care.
shit.
You just lied.
I feel betrayed.
I feel betrayed too. He gave you
fake
more than he
news.
needed to give you.
No,
I'm crushed.
you got the story wrong and said it, and I sat back and let you say it wrong.
That's what CNN does.
Oh my God, they do worse. They do
Who's the
worse.
real fake news now?
Wow, Jamie wins.
Damn.
Jamie wins, and I feel like he's gonna win this bet too. I feel like he's getting $1,000, and you're gonna have to wear a T-shirt as well.
Mark Norman said it earlier. I've never heard Jamie piping up so much during a podcast before. There was that time when he got his knickers in a knot when the moon landing conspiracy expert Bart Sabrell was on the podcast, and he threw a tantrum because no one was listening to him, but he really went for it in this episode. And it was good to see Rogan let him go and not shut him down like he usually does. We've all seen the clips of Rogan giving Jamie death stares for interrupting him or talking too much on the podcast. Joe likes his side pieces to keep real quiet and do as they're told. But now that Jamie's team won, supposedly Shane has to give him $1,000 and wear a t-shirt that says, I'm Jamie's bitch, which I think is simply beautiful. You know deep down that Shane's gonna hate it. He even looked kind of embarrassed admitting that he went along with Rogan's story the whole time and never thought to correct the record. Jamie kind of reminds me of Milton from Office Space. He's been sitting there putting up with everyone's bullshit for years, and finally he just says, yeah, nah, I'm done, and blows the whole place up. And Mark Normand also brought up how much Rogan pays Jamie, which is something many of us have speculated about for a while now, and judging by Rogan's response, I actually think Jamie gets paid a lot more than we initially thought. Mark asked if Jamie gets paid more than Red Band did, to which Rogan said, yeah, he gets paid a lot more than he did, and he gets paid quite well. Now, I'm not sure what that quite well actually means according to Rogan's standards. It could be $200K a year, it could even be up to $1 million. Who knows, but it wouldn't be that crazy if it was, seeing as Rogan makes over $100 million a year just...
Everyone that came and laughed and honked and whatever the hell we were going through, I'm like, I know that you guys laughed, and if anyone says this isn't good, they're judging you. Like, I went all over the country, I went everywhere, and I just really feel good about that.
I don't even know if I'm good at podcasting. That's the other thing.
I think you are, but it's a very different thing. Like, you have celebrities on and you prepare and you do all this stuff, and I respect that. But it's like what we do. It's just
I'm insecure, Tim. I don't have the white man thing of I'm just like, who wouldn't want to hear me talk for 3 hours about anything? Like, I'm not allowed to be boring. I have to be twice as good to get half as much respect.
Okay.
You disagree?
Maybe.
Well, how so?
I don't know. You have to be twice as good.
I mean,
to get half as much respect.
Being an unfunny comic must be the hardest thing to deal with for her because it's the last thing that she's willing to accept. She blames everything and anything before acknowledging that she's just not funny. But it's not that simple, because in this episode of Flagrant, Whitney said the quiet bit out loud and exposed both Schultz and Rogan for overexploiting their fan bases for the money. It's almost like Whitney got red-pilled and the comedy matrix is trying to shut her down. So, like I said, there's a lot to cover here, and to fully understand the whole picture, we have to go back to Whitney's first appearance on Flagrant from 2022, where she made one of the biggest mistakes of her comedy career. She punched down on the biggest comedy fan demographic, young men.
To me, I think it's interesting this time we're in like podcasts. Not this one. Like, I love this podcast. It's just jokes. Like, a lot of podcasts that male comedians do is like just them talking about like their depression and like their anxiety attacks. It's amazing to me that male comics need to prove that they're like vulnerable and sad.
Right.
Whereas like I can't do
Who
I
specifically?
still need to prove that I'm funny. I feel like guys, like there's a lot of like when I need to talk about my panic attacks. Like, I hate that. I hate Woody Allen for that reason. I don't like men bragging about being weak. It makes me sick.
And so when you combine her complete disregard for men with mental health issues, combined with her ongoing crusade to play the female comedian victim, as well as her constant whining and postulating about why people don't like her, she ended up digging herself a hole that she still, to this day, has not managed to climb out of, and ended up in tears on Howie Mandel's show after enduring years of backlash across all of her social media.
The amount of
hate I get is so intense, and I never acknowledge it and I never talk about it. There's a lot of emotion that I never like processed from all that, because it was like I think people think my life is like so easy or something, and that I have like money or whatever, so they're just like I can just be a total punching bag. Or maybe it's because I did the roast. We get paid to try to entertain people, so when people are not getting paid and their hobby is just to trash the people that are trying to spread joy, it's like it sucks a little bit, because then I go like, well, who am I doing this for? So much embarrassment about that whole time, because I was so publicly embarrassed. Like it was like trashing people on Twitter was like pretty new. I was trashed by like some people like Alex Sulkin and like writers that I really respected. It became this punchline. I was like, they made fun of me on SNL. It was like the dreams that I had was like, oh, like SNL is making fun of me. Like I'll never get to do that. You know what I mean? Like it was just like.
But you don't see that as a badge of honor?
I think I do now, but I always wanted to be in the club, and I became the thing the cool kids made fun of.
Yet again, we have another example of a Rogan comedian flying too close to the sun and getting burnt. By 2022, Whitney Cummings had cemented her reputation as the whining female comedian who not only wasn't funny, but openly attacked men with mental health issues for being weak-minded, only to suffer her own public mental breakdown months after declaring weak men were disgusting. So, carrying her Brendan Schaub-sized baggage on her second appearance on Flagrant in April of 2023, both Andrew and Whitney were desperately trying to rebuild her image as a funny comedian and shake off all the negativity that was following her around like a bad smell. She was focused only on one thing: just be funny. She wanted to show that she could roll with the punches and hang with the boys.
What's up with you? What's up with you today? Why do you want to fight with me today?
I like
I
this.
didn't want to fight. You want to fight with me today? What's going on?
always do fight. Why do you look at me with these faces like it's difficult?
She can't control that.
Is listening hard for you? This is what it looks like when you're listening. This is you listening, right? This is you. I'm not talking. What do I do with my face while the other people talk?
She's been hanging out with the Whitney robot too long. That's what it is.
That's the problem. This is how you age. They're too reactive when you're listening. Even right now, you're trying to not do it, and you're just pursing your lips like this.
I know. I'm just like.
No, you just said that I didn't watch any of the roast.
No, I just.
Is that what you just said?
I just said.
What did you just say? That I didn't watch 1 minute of the roast.
No, I sent you a link, and
just tell me what you said. Don't do the golden retriever outside the car window on the highway face. Let's just talk to each other.
I love that you just called me a dog, and let's not pretend that you have become a complete dork. I listened to your last episode where you guys were like, oh, we're talking about why women are more admitted into college more, and that men don't. Who gives a shit? When did you guys become such dorks? Who cares?
Thanks.
Free tape.
What the
Come on.
free tape?
I'm Team Andrew Tate,
Like,
bro.
what?
Free
Dude, I was down when you guys were like hanging out with Alex Jones and the fake star from North Korea, and now you guys are like the fake.
That was like 3 weeks.
I don't know. Now you guys are like, and the Pew Research study says that incels, like, who cares?
Yeah, but
are your fans
Soccer getting
incels?
shots from Whitney for
I
no
love
reason.
soccer.
Didn't you put a whole movie out called The Female Brain that was just like the girl version of what you just said?
Are you asking a rhetorical question given the fact you're in the movie? I don't need someone yelling at me about rape with that mustache, because that's exactly every time I have someone has attempted to
Thing to scream at a woman. Nobody wants to you, and you're like, stop saying that.
Except in shiny Luigi over here. Is
Being
this
a female
like the
comic.
new Adderall? Is this like the new
I
Is this
miss Adderall.
batch?
I want
I feel like you
Adderall.
got a wonky batch.
No,
this feels
I'm
like
on 3 Zins.
What's a Zins? Oh, this is like the nicotine.
Nicotine, yeah.
Okay, got
And
it.
peptides.
So I don't know what you guys think about that little edit. You can let me know in the comments below, but it was basically like that for the whole first 20 minutes of the podcast. It was wild. It was chaotic. They were throwing around roasts and one-liners like they were going out of fashion. And if you could get past the anxiety-inducing energy, some of it was actually kind of funny. But that seems to be the flagrant way these days. They copied the handheld camera zooms from Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast, and then after the energy dies down, they go to a more conventional coverage structure with static shots and slower cuts as they relax into a slow burn conversation. However, just before they came to the end of the high-energy fast cuts and shaky camera, Whitney fumbled her way through the whole "it's hard being a female comic" Yet again, she dug herself a hole that wasn't going to be easy to climb out of.
Dude, I love doing corporate gigs because it's also like, it's a big business, I think, for more like female comics. Because, you know, like being a stand-up as a woman, it's not a business. It's not a viable. Yeah.
Can you tell us how hard it is? Like,
I'm not saying it's hard
tell us how
necessarily.
hard it is to be a female comic. Like,
it's
that's
not-
what we love to listen to.
That's
Like,
not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's hard to be
it's so tough on the road.
No, it's not what I said. What are you
guys
doing?
trying to tell you to go back to the hotel.
No one, no,
This
bitch.
is so different than being a woman anywhere else in life. How is being a comic on the road any different than just going out to a bar? I always hear this from female comics. They're like, guys always trying to go back to your hotel. And it's like, look at the face again. You're listening
no,
again.
I'm just
You
putting-
put on your
you're just
listening
putting
face.
words in my mouth.
I'd rather you look at me and just think about like a dog bone. Just think about a bone. Just think about a bone. Think about your happy face, and then look like this when I'm talking to you.
Being a female comic is being in the WNBA.
Why?
No one wants to see us either.
What are you talking about?
If I got stuck in a Russian prison, none of you would care. You'd be like, that's good for her.
Yeah.
Like, that builds character.
Oh my Lord. Run the prison.
That's the other thing. I'm looking down the barrel of the female comedians that like, dude, this doesn't end well. Who does this end well for? Female comedian.
Joan of Arc or whatever. What's it? Joan Rivers.
That
Yeah.
ended well for her?
She did not. Phenomenal.
She was killing it.
I
think
know,
she has
but,
so much
like,
respect.
That's true, but I think
People love her.
But she hated towards the end that she was like doing fashion police stuff and
So
was
then
like
stop doing it.
like
I don't like that
celebrity,
shit where, like
celebrity gossip. I don't like to get into
Don't
that.
complain about the shit you choose to do.
Or you become gay, or you become an activist. I know, that's what I'm saying. No.
Yeah, I think Andrew was on the money with that take. No one's forcing female comics to do any type of material. They choose their own way, so it's ultimately up to them to decide what genre of comedy they want to be known for. But it seems like that really isn't the problem for Whitney. After becoming known as the female comic who punches down on guys with mental health issues, she ironically ended up putting on a display of just how broken she is. For those of you who don't know, she apparently had a rough upbringing and recently lost her mother, who she had a troubled relationship with, and so as a result, she found herself switching teams and shacking up with another woman.
Sound
So wait,
guys
you're really
won't touch
dating a
you.
girl?
Yeah, I mean, it's like
You know what that
my
proves
mom
to me,
just died.
honestly?
Yeah.
Don't do the mom died thing and now
grief-
we got to feel bad.
But I don't. Why you did that? I feel
Don't
great about
do
it.
that.
It's a relief. I'm
Don't
glad my
do
mom
that.
died. She was a hate. She was a. It was not. Didn't love me much.
Welcome, yo.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Welcome
My
to
mom
the
was-
club,
My
yo.
mom was an asshole, dude. I
Really?
mean, she put me into like modeling when I was a teenager. Like,
But now
the
you're
bar-
sliding that meat over to a girl, right? Like,
Well, no, it's
what's
not like
the deal with that?
super serious. It's just like grief does wild shit. Do you know what I mean?
I need to know
Did
what's
you-
going on.
did
You
you-
come on
hold
here,
on, hold
you say
on.
you're a big old bull dyke out of the nowhere.
Hold on. I'm not a bull dyke.
Come on.
What did Emma take down your Die Hard poster? What's going on? What's going on at home, Andrew?
You come in.
What's going on at home?
You come in and you tell me that you're lying about
What's
something.
going on? Are you
I
shooting?
need to get to the bottom
Are
of
you
it.
shooting blanks? Why are you such a grump?
Yes. How am I grumpy?
You have some rage at me, Andrew. This is a new kind of rage.
This is a good defensive strategy. You come in here, you
Why
accuse.
do I even
This
have
is
to be
gaslighting.
defensive?
This is gaslighting. Do you learn this from your lesbians?
Yes. She's been dating women now. She knows all the
now
tricks.
they know how to do it.
I've always
you
been a
come
woman.
in here.
I've always been a woman. What are you
Start
talking about?
dating women.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the first time I've actually dated a woman. It's actually just like a little more like helpful. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Oh
you get.
God.
Is this just the first time you've had
Did
a
you
female
just
friend?
prove? No.
yeah,
Did you
let's
just
just-
prove what I'm saying? I literally said you want to be with
Let's
some
talk
company
about
that
something
can
you
be an
wanna-
assistance to you, and then you're like, you know what? It's just a little more helpful.
You know what, guys? How
Having
about
another
this?
woman
Let's
around.
talk about something you guys want to talk about. Let's
Let's.
talk about how more women are being admitted to universities these days than men. How do you feel about
Where
it?
did you go to school?
Who gives a shit? UPenn.
You went to UPenn.
Yes, I did.
Got you. Okay.
Ivies.
Yep. I like how Andrew
Is
has
it an
this
Ivy?
mustache.
Yes.
It's not long enough
They
to
count
twirl.
UPenn as an Ivy?
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it's
very much an Ivy.
Really? Yeah. Not really though.
Yeah, no, it is like actually an
It's
Ivy.
like one. It's like Stanford,
No,
where it's like
no.
not
no,
really,
no.
but it's not like.
So clearly, there's a few things going on here, right? She's grieving, she's receiving a ton of hate from the internet, and she's struggling to rationalize